6 reasons why I left the United States for Dominican Republic. I got tired of just being sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're living in the United States and everything is so expensive and you're working all day, 6, 7 days a week. You're running from job to job and you just still can't make ends meet. We can't buy homes. Everything is overpriced and you just feel like you're just going to tear your hair out and you have to try to figure out how to live. Well, I'll tell you how I started my journey, and I am now living very comfortably in the Dominican Republic. 6 reasons why I left the United States and moved to the Dominican Republic. And number one, of course, is I was totally burned out being a nurse for so long, working, and it just got to the point where I was just tired. My brain was foggy. I wasn't eating right, wasn't going to the bathroom because I did home health nursing, so I was always on the road. And everywhere I went and I wanted to use the bathroom, I had to see if it was clean, if it was someone's home, or use a gas station or something. So it was just, and it was a lot of politics in healthcare and not enough nurses to go around, and they just unload on you. So I decided it was time, and I sort of put everything in place and made plans to leave the United States. So that was my main reason. So this is for my nurses. If you're thinking about leaving the U.S. because you're totally burned out, I completely agree with you. I can identify, and you're looking at someone who left the States, came over here, and I'm living my best life. Okay? Number two is proximity to the United States. Now, I could have gone many places. I have family in England. I have family all over. A lot of people were going to Thailand, Portugal, Brazil. There were so many different places that I could have gone to. I actually thought about Panama. I went to Mexico. I checked out Mexico. I spent 10 days there and I went to so many different cities. And I came, I kind of compared and I decided that Dominican Republic was the place that I wanted to be. And the reason for that was because of the proximity to the United States. I lived in Florida, I lived in South Florida, so it was so easy to get on a flight and get to Florida in like I want to have 2 hours max. You couldn't beat that, to go to New York. My parents live in New York. It's 3 hours to New York. So it was just like almost like taking a bus. I could go to Florida in the morning. There's early flights, and I could get on a flight coming back in the evening. So that was another thing. So that was like those two, 1 and 2, are like my primary reasons for choosing the Dominican Republic. 3, of course, is economics. Living in Dominican Republic is so much cheaper than living in the United States. I have lived here since 2018. I was going back and forth. I still maintain my nurse's license, and I would go to work for maybe a week, 2. I worked PRN, and I would come back, and I would stay here for another 3 weeks, and I'd go back. So I just did my thing. And every time I went there, I was just in shock at how expensive everything is. I mean, housing, of course, is through the roof if you can find somewhere. And the food, everything was like so expensive. And I know because I've lived in Florida for over 20 years. And, even it's not just Florida, it's all over actually. So when I came back to DR and I went to the store and my dollars went so much further. And of course, the exchange rate has been hovering about over, I would say around 58 since I've been here. So that's 58 pesos to $1. And they don't overinflate it so that you're paying more to match the US's prices. It stays low enough so that Dominicans can afford it. So if you change your money at the bank, of course, they give you less. But if you change that one of the little exchange rate places, you get a lot more. So I've seen it go as high as 60 to 1. So apartments are cheaper. My apartment that I live in is 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and it's brand new. It's $600. I have lived in very nice places, gated communities, guard gated communities. I can tell you that living here is a lot cheaper. My expenses for the month between living Food, the internet, I think runs me about $30 a month. What else? Internet, you don't pay for water. Light bill. Light bill can be a little tricky. I think the light here, electricity is one of the more controversial utilities because we have gotten light bills that were like $300, and I'm like, what are they talking about? I have a two-bedroom apartment. I have one air conditioner which I hadn't put on because it was very cool. It was like Dominican winter, and we got our bill. It was $300, so we had to get someone to come in from the company, and they came in and they checked to see how many appliances you have, what do you have going, and then they reevaluated it, and then of course they said, okay, we're going to give you a credit. So yeah, so you have to be very careful with the electricity. Even some Airbnbs, like when we go out of town, if we go to like Punta Cana or we go to, anywhere else on the island and we'll rent an Airbnb, a lot of times you'll see a little sign on the wall that says, if you use the air conditioner, don't forget to turn it off because, gringos, they'll go off, they'll go to the beach all day long and they'll leave the lights on. So they charge you. There's something that they can install where they can charge you for using the air conditioner, not just electricity, but specifically the air conditioner. So cost of living here, I would say, is much less than the United States. Food, if you want to buy imported stuff, of course, you're going to pay imported prices. But if you buy local, or you go to the Colmado, or you go to the market, I go to the market for my fruits and vegetables, it's fresh. And you go to the fish market where they bring the fish in daily, it's fresh. I don't eat meat, so I don't know about meat. But I can tell you it is a lot less than living in the United States. 4. This, of course, is lifestyle. If you are accustomed to the fast pace, and I grew up in New York, I lived in Brooklyn, I worked in Manhattan for many, many years, so I had to run around, use the subway, and there was even a time where I did a travel nursing assignment, and I was in New York City, and I had to take the subway in 0-degree temperature with snow on the ground, and I went from Mount Vernon all the way to Chinatown, and believe me, I lost 50 pounds in like 2 months. So yeah, I would say lifestyle, it's a lot slower. If you're in one of the cities, like where I live in Puerto Plata, it's a lot slower. You can find what you want to do and you can stay home and do nothing. You look for what you want. If you go to Santo Domingo, because it's a major city, it is the capital, yes, it's a lot faster, there's a lot going on. There's more crime, there's more everything. There's more restaurants, there's more everything. The only thing they don't have is beaches. They usually come in, you'll see on the weekends, they'll come in to Puerto Plata, Sosua, Cabarete, and they're coming in by the busloads. So it's just a slower pace. You can get bored if you don't have something to occupy your time. There's other areas where it just reminds me of South Florida, like Punta Cana. So you can have the campo, which is the country area. If you're into that, if you want that, you can have city, which is Puerto Plata. Puerto Plata is big. It encompasses a wide area. You have Santo Domingo, which is the capital. You have Santiago, which is a city. And you also have Punta Cana. Those are like the major ones that most people usually travel to, most visitors. So yeah, it's a little slower pace lifestyle, and you get what you're looking for. There are days when I don't even come outside. Beautiful days like today, I decided to do this video outside, but there are days when I just want to be watching TV or just want to go out the back and sit out back. I have a back patio, or I go to the gym in the evenings. So that's my entertainment. And then once a month or twice a month, we will just go somewhere. Like we'll go to a resort, we'll go to another part of the island. We plan, a getaway. So yeah, lifestyle definitely is number 4. So if you're looking for a little slower lifestyle, they call it tranquilo, where If you want something and you're waiting for it like within an hour, it might come within 5 hours. If you're waiting for a repair or something and they say, we'll see you later, they might come tomorrow. So you just have to get used to, we're on island time, and island time is real. It, it's not fun sometimes when you need something done, but it is real. So, if you can't accept certain changes, certain things that you're not accustomed to back in the States, it might be a little difficult getting accustomed to it. And here you have times when the lights go out. So I always tell people, when you're coming, make sure you either stay somewhere that has an inverter, which is like I would say it's a generator, and if you have to have hot water. So those are things that you look for, especially if you're looking for, if you're staying in an Airbnb. If you're coming here to live, the first thing I did, I got my inverter and I got health insurance, and that's another topic. Up on number 6. And number 6 is, something that I thought about because I am in the healthcare field, is health. Good, clean air. I don't see chemtrails up there every day. We do get the occasional African, some kind of dust that travels, and the days will be dark, like it will actually look overcast, and I have sinus issues, so I find that when we get those kind of weather reports, I will have sinus issues until it disappears. And there's a rainy season here. Sometimes it can rain for days. Last year, I remember it rained for 3 months, like literally rained for 3 months. I get what they call weather, what is called, when you get very depressed, when the weather is seasonal affective disorder. That's what it's called. Seasonal affective disorder. I get seasonal affective disorder, and that was another reason why I could not live somewhere that's cold, where they have all the seasons, because believe me, I would get so depressed in the winter. The minute it started to get dark early and it got cold, my mood changed. I got very depressed, down, everything bothered me. So yeah, seasonal affective disorder is a real thing. So I needed to be somewhere that the weather was pretty consistent. It's sunny. Most days it's bright and sunny. And DR checked those boxes for me. So yeah, the whole health thing, weather, food. The food here is much more organic. Like, you don't have to go to Whole Foods and look in a certain section for organic. It's pretty much organic. You see the guys come around on the little truck, and they have all the plantains, they have yuca, they have all the provisions, all the food that's grown in the earth. And it comes from the country, and they come up every day. I personally, me and Ricardo, we go to the market and we just buy everything. And you can see it's straight from the country, from the farms. And I don't do a lot of processed food, like frozen food. There's no need to. There's some things that I like that I get from the States, like I like waffles. So we'll buy that. That's usually imported. When you buy imported, it's a little bit more expensive. So there are just some things that I like that I'll spend the extra money for. And, but I have waves. Like, I'll eat something for a while, and then after that, I just don't want to have it anymore. My palate is very strange. And then I'm vegan, so there's no meat in my plate. I haven't had meat in my plate for over 20 years. So the food is definitely much more organic. And although here, Dominicans like rice and beans and chicken, I'll eat chicken occasionally, but everything for me is, I'll do rice and just beans and gravy, or rice and beans and salad, or I'll just do anything that it has nothing that was alive with blood in it. Let's put it that way. So, I can find it here very, very easily. and it's a lot cheaper than the frozen foods. I tell you that much. So yeah, so the food. Another thing that I really like is the fact that you don't have to run to the doctor every time you need a medication. Like my only health issue is hypertension. I've been taking blood pressure meds for a few years, and it's a very low dose. So I watch what I eat. I try to, I don't try. I exercise and I watch what I eat, and I try to keep my stress level down. And I have only, that's the only thing I take. And I really like the fact that whenever I need it, I can just go to the pharmacy and say, I need X. There's no need for a prescription. You don't have to go to the doctor every time. Now, and another thing here, the health system is a little different. And one thing I must say that you must have if you're coming here is health insurance. Because unlike the states where they'll treat you in the emergency room and bill you later, they're not doing that here. They want their money. They want their money up front, or you have to have insurance. If you don't have insurance, you better have some cash or a credit card. And even if you have international insurance, I don't believe they take it here up front. You can show it, but you still have to pay some kind of co-payment, and which is, depending on what's happening, can be pricey. And then you bill, you get reimbursed from your company. So the first thing I did, along with an inverter, is get health insurance. And if you're over 65, because we know there's a lot of people that come here that's retired, and they might have Medicare, you can get around the over 65, or I think it's over 60, I forgot, 62, that they won't insure you with the local insurance with a group plan. So we've gotten, a few people, a couple of our friends that didn't have insurance, we just got them on a group plan. So we all have a group plan. I have full coverage, and I pay for dental and health. I think I have vision in there. I think it's $55 a month. And I can go to whatever doctor I want. There's no primary care physician. You go to the doctor, you go to the clinic. Now here they call hospitals clinics. So you go to the clinic and you can call first, and I wanted to see the dermatologist the other day, and they just tell you what day she's in. And you make an appointment, you go in and you see the doctor, and you take it from there. So it's a lot easier to be seen. I have a doctor, actually he's been my husband's family doctor for years. So whenever I want something, I might not, if it's something that requires a prescription, now controlled substances do require a prescription. We just call him, I need a pain pill. I have back issues, so I might need a pain pill. Although a lot of the ones that don't require prescriptions you can get over the counter. But if I need something stronger, we call him and he just writes a prescription and say, come pick it up. So you can develop really good relationships with your family. You can actually have a family doctor, somebody that you see on a regular basis. And sometimes they even come to the house. They do home visits. And it sort of reminds me of Cuba. In Cuba, I went to Cuba. They have, the doctor will come to your house. I couldn't believe it. And they also have a hospital for foreigners. If you get sick, you go to the foreigner hospital, and they don't charge. Unlike DR charges. So yeah, I just like the way it's set up. They have some very good hospitals here. There's quite a few in Santo Domingo, like Santo Domingo. They have quite a few. There's one called Holmes that I've been in because I've just wanted to see what they look like. Union Medica. I went to see an orthopedic specialist, and because I have a back pinched nerves and stuff, and I suffer from chronic backache, I went to see the doctor, and my copayment was 2,500 pesos, which is about $45. And I went to my family's doctor the other day, and I paid 1,000 pesos just for the visit. I actually went to the lab, did all my lab work, and then took the results to him, and he just looked at it and just said, whatever, and prescribed something else for my pain. And I just went to the pharmacy and picked it up. So, sort of, it's very hot out here today. I thought it was gonna be a little cooler, but this is DR in July, and DR in July, it is hot. Whew. So guys, so that's just me giving you a little insight on why I left the United States for the Dominican Republic, and I will tell you, I don't regret it. I am actually supposed to make a trip soon, and I've been procrastinating even buying my ticket. Like, I don't even want to go. And I'm serious. I'm just happy where I am. I mean, everything I own is here, so I can't say the States is still my home, because the States really isn't my home anymore. This is where I live. Like, I got married to Dominican, and this is where I live. So I have to, make it. And I'm quite happy. I can't complain. So I have put together a checklist. It's called Burnout to Bliss Digital, and it's going to be linked in the description below. And it's just a checklist to see if you are anywhere near to your journey for leaving the States. And I'm sort of talking to my nurses, and I had some people behind me. I don't know who they are. My nurses who are totally burnt out and fed up, and they don't know where to go, what to do. Yes, I would totally recommend it. I've had 2 people contact me so far, and I haven't really been even like pushing it, because like it's there, but I'm still in the process of developing my digital products, and they reach out to me. So I already have two clients that I'm just like, talked to on the phone last night for 2 hours. One of the ladies that she lives in Arizona. So go in the link in the description and check, click the link, Burnout to Bliss Digital, and it will take you to a checklist, and you can download it and just look through it, and you can book a one-on-one call with me. It's free. There's also a calendar, and you can book a one-on-one, and we can talk and see how I can help you. If you're ready for a sabbatical, extended vacation, plans on relocating, whatever, you can get in touch with me, okay? So don't forget to click the subscribe button, and stay tuned for my next video. Thanks for watching.